Thank you for tuning in to the Crypto Confidence Podcast for Grown Women with Ansela. Cryptocurrency does not have to be complicated. We keep it simple. This is for general information and educational purposes only and is not intended to constitute legal, tax, accounting, or investment advice. So today our guest is Jay Becker of CryptoConcierge. Welcome, Jay.
Hey, it's good to be here.
Yes, we haven't spoken in a while, so it's nice to connect again.
Yeah, absolutely. We,
So,
we, we
Jay,
have a good vibe going on.
yeah, we do. Sometimes we get into these conversations and they go on and on and on. So it's always nice. And I love to hear your perspective about crypto and as it relates to business and entrepreneurs. So that's why I want to have you on the Crypto Confident podcast so we can get some of our entrepreneurs to see why they should be accepting cryptocurrency. But first, please tell us about yourself and about Crypto Concierge.
Yeah. So, let's see, where should I start? So I was born. No, yeah. So I've always been kind of interested in technology and like how things work. I always viewed technology like magic, because I mean the computer or the device you're watching this or listening to this on, it's just a stone that we tricked into thinking. Like that's all it is at the end of the day. It's just a bunch of metal that somehow does smart things. Like wow,
Right.
this is crazy, right?
Right.
And so I was always interested in that. And I've always been tinkering and building things. And one thing that I kind of came across was this like crypto thing, and I just thought it was the stupidest, dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like it's making my computer parts more expensive. It's this internet fad. It's not even real money. And I knew a bunch of people doing some really dumb decisions with cryptocurrency, so I just assumed, well, hey, that's all it is, and I just kind of ignored it. Um, and that's how it was. And I did web design, a little bit of marketing. I ran a couple small businesses here and there. And it wasn't until a friend was like, "Hey, you really gotta check out this crypto thing." I'm like, I probably should. It's one of the. I think everyone gets to that point where it's like you hear so much buzz and talk about it, and you're like, fine, right? And I threw like $100, I think, in Bitcoin, and I completely forgot about it. And when I visited it again, it had doubled in money and doubled in value.
Mhm.
And that got me thinking, like, okay, this is either a Ponzi scheme or this actually works. And
Right.
either way, that's a really interesting question to know. So I just got obsessed digging into it, figuring out how it works. And I saw that I realized like my light bulb moment was
Mhm.
when I realized that, see, cryptocurrency on the surface, oh, it's borderless transactions. On the surface, oh, if you hold it, you make more money. But if you go a level deeper, it's solving this fundamental problem that humanity's had, right? And that is power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Mhm.
However, running a society requires power to be centralized to some extent.
Mhm.
And so what crypto says is, what if you didn't need that? Like, what if you didn't need to have somebody have that that centralized control over a system, right? And that's what the blockchain technology, that's what cryptocurrency enables you to do. And when I found that out, it was like, whoa! I
Right.
don't want to work in any other field.
Right.
I just want to work in this space.
Mhm.
And so then I got like deep into like researching projects and understanding how this stuff works. And I found out there's like a lot of really powerful tools, but no one's using them.
Right.
And so that's why I started Crypto Concierge. And in Crypto Concierge, our whole goal is to get businesses to fully accept, store, and use cryptocurrency as an actual currency, and to do all of that without needing an exchange. Um, and so we use a bunch of different tools and processes and frameworks so that can actually happen. And then the next step we do is we just don't set up a system, but we also help people to actually find out about it and actually use it. And yeah, that's the story in a nutshell. The rest is
So that's
history.
really powerful, helping businesses to accept, store, and use crypto without an exchange. And this
Yep.
is something that you make custom for each company, or how does that work?
Yeah. So I mean, we have a general framework, right? But again, everyone's different. Everyone's level of security is different, right? Like if you're storing, $1,000 in Bitcoin, that's a completely different use case than if you're storing 100,000 or $1 million, right? Like you're gonna need a whole level higher of security, right? Like you aren't gonna want to throw that kind of money in like your basic phone wallet, right? You're gonna need something a little bit more high powered. And then also like different workflows, like some of the people we've worked with, how they distribute money. That's unique, right?
Right.
Or how some people do want to cash out. So it's like, well, okay, we can automatically send a payment to an exchange. We can automatically send a payment to a wallet. We can send, pay employees. So again, it really depends. We do a mixture of custom, mixture of like frameworks. But yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much.
So I know one concern that many businesses express about accepting cryptocurrency is, of course, the volatility. So as
Yes.
someone who sets up platforms, I guess I'll call it, for
Yeah. Okay. Let's
businesses
see
to
what it is.
accept large quantity crypto payments, how does what
So
you offer eliminate that concern?
yeah, that's an excellent question. I get that all the time. So first of all, it's important to understand where you lose money in cryptocurrency. Okay,
Okay.
that's like a huge thing. What happens if I do a transaction, I lose a bunch of money off of it? Well, there's only one way you can lose money, right? It's not if the price goes down, because if the price goes down, you actually get more Bitcoin per purchase, right? Right now, you get, as of recording this, you get like around 3 times more Bitcoin than you did, when Bitcoin was like $60,000.
Okay.
So that's great, right? The other thing is if price goes up, well, that means that people are looking to cash out, and if you are offering goods and services as opposed to having them to cash out and then buy goods and services, right? You're looking at a very appealing option. Okay. The
Mm,
only way
mhm,
you lose money is if you do a transaction when it's all the way up here and then you hold on to it and then you sell at the bottom. But
mm,
what a lot of people don't, what a lot of people do in a lot of workflows is they have, okay, here's the money we need to spend, we need to utilize to grow the business to, get stuff going. And we can pretty much do that automatically. Send that out so that you don't really having to worry about volatility. And then the rest of it goes into, long-term storage. Um,
yeah,
and
okay.
and then, all right, so the other, that's like more long-term volatility, but for the
Mhm.
short term, like if you invoice somebody and them wait, you're kind of doing the scummy thing of waiting for the price to move up so they can pay you with less Bitcoin. We use a BTC Pay Server, which has like a built-in volatility control, so it automatically updates the price like every like 15 minutes or so. So
Oh,
that solutions on both ends of the
right. Okay, that's brilliant. I had not even thought about that part that, if you have someone with Bitcoin that wants to pay in Bitcoin,
yeah.
that's a great way for them to not have to go through the cashing
it,
out
it gets
process.
it gets even better, right? Because if you're
Mhm,
holding on to some Bitcoin, even if it's like 3%, right,
mhm,
um, over a long period of time, and you're, I think it's safe to say you could expect to double your value of it. That
mhm,
means you can offer discounts to people who pay you in Bitcoin. And that's something that we implement in our business. Is everyone who pays us in Bitcoin gets an automatic deduction or a discount.
mm,
And so now, if somebody has Bitcoin and they want to buy goods and services in Bitcoin, say other businesses are accepting Bitcoin, right?
right.
And okay, they could go to an exchange, pay for the fees, get cash, buy stuff in cash, or they could just go directly to you, who already now has a discount and can accept that cryptocurrency. So
Wow, that's a
there's a
good
lot of
idea
like
too. Yeah, that's brilliant.
compounding benefits to it.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, I like that. So now I know in the past you and I have talked about what you do, and it is kind of more geared to the larger
Yeah.
transactions. So what would you say to someone who does have a smaller business but
Yeah.
wants to accept cryptocurrency? What options would they have?
Yes, I know that's a great question. I mean, as much as I hate the exchanges, they exist for a reason, right? Um, there's a bunch of options out there. I think there's like over 100 different like crypto payment gateways out there.
Mhm.
Um, and it really just depends on your use case. That can be a good one. Um, you could always go with you you could go with certain, like you use the Lightning Network, which is like a second layer Bitcoin solution, which enables faster payments. You
Mhm.
could just do direct to wallet. Though again, you do have some issues with again dealing with volatility, also like traceability, because if you have just one wallet and you let everyone know, hey, here's my one wallet address, that means that they can track your entire the entire history of that wallet,
True.
right, going to and
So
from.
true. Yeah.
So for that, I would recommend there's different programs that enable you to have multiple wallets. Like Wasabi
Mhm.
is an example of one wallet provider where you can just create a bunch of different wallet addresses, and you can make a little bit extra layer of privacy. Again, it's not perfect, but
Mhm.
it's significantly better than just having what I call the pot of gold, where you just have
Mhm.
one giant pot and you just throw all the money in there. And
Right.
but yeah, so like there's different options. And at the end of the day, again, something's better than nothing. If you have to go to an exchange to accept Bitcoin, hey, that is better than not having to do it all. If you need a
Right.
solution where it instantly changes that crypto to fiat, hey, no. I mean, I will slightly judge you, but I won't judge you too
Thank you for your kindness.
much.
Okay, that's enlightening. So, talking a little bit more about the smaller business, because that's most of the people I deal with are, small
Yeah,
business
yeah.
owners. Outside of what you already mentioned at the beginning about why accepting Bitcoin could be a very good thing, are there
Yes.
any other reasons
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
entrepreneur should consider accepting
So,
Bitcoin?
um, yeah. So there's a couple. One a really good reason is it helps you tap into a whole new market segment. Um, Now, this might not be fitting if you are dealing in the hospice industry, but if you're doing something more in the tech, even I think I've seen food carts accepting crypto payments.
Mhm.
Um, and so what it does is it's kind of like the equivalent of when like you go to the grocery store, you see like USD organic, or you see GMO free or something. I don't
Mhm.
really care, but
Mhm.
to some people that's like their thing, like, oh, I'm only
Mhm.
buying organic food.
True.
And so that's like accepting crypto is kind of like the same thing for businesses,
Mm.
right? Especially for me, right? If I see a business that is accepting crypto, I want to support that business, right? Because I want to support global crypto adoption. So even
Right.
if somebody else has a better product, a better price product, I want to go to buy that thing with Bitcoin, right? So that's can be a huge draw. Um, of course, yeah, if you can hold on to your balance sheet, that can be an excellent way of making more profit by doing absolutely nothing, which is kind of crazy concept to think about.
Mhm.
I mean, like, what in business can you just make more money by doing nothing? I mean,
Right. Very true.
um, but yeah, so
Mhm.
like those are like the main things. It's like, hey, you can tap into this whole new customer segment. Oh, the other thing I forgot: people who spend things with Bitcoin tend to spend twice as much as they do with cash.
Yeah, I
So
could totally see that.
yeah. Um, so again, if you would tap into that market, you get kind of like the reputation as well of, oh, hey, I'm accepting cryptocurrency. I'm like on the cutting edge. So yeah, there's a fair amount of reasons for, and then on top of that, if you're dealing with international businesses, um, Bitcoin is a whole lot easier in a lot of cases than having to send and convert cash and have to deal with all the fees. Um, so yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot of amazing reasons for Bitcoin.
That's a great analogy, the USDA organic and non-GMO, because I'm in that party of people that look for non-GMO very deliberately, and I go to the expensive store because I want the non-GMO, so I get it. 100%. All right. I do want to just say one thing too. For those of you who may be listening or watching and you may not be as familiar, it seems like we're using Bitcoin and cryptocurrency interchangeably,
Yes, yes.
right? Because it's kind of like saying Q-tips instead of cotton swabs. You
Yeah, so thanks for bringing that up. I well, like Bitcoin is like the cryptocurrency because it is a currency. All right.
Mhm.
These other coins, awesome. I'm not like, yes, you can call them cryptocurrency, but
Mhm.
um, it's not solving the same problem that Bitcoin is.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
Ethereum. All right, sure, we can call it cryptocurrency, but it's not really being used as a currency. It's being more used as a utility, right?
Right.
Most projects out there are more of utilities in there. I mean, you could say that without Bitcoin in some sense, but yeah, when I talk about cryptocurrency, I'm mainly referring to Bitcoin.
Right.
Though you can, I mean, the systems we use could work for other coins.
Mhm. Okay.
It's just you have less stability and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. But yeah, that's a good thing to bring Yeah.
And as a small business owner or entrepreneur that is interested in accepting cryptocurrency, you can decide which cryptocurrency you want to accept.
Yeah.
That's entirely up to you.
Yes.
So your options are open. So that's kind of like we use Bitcoin and crypto. We throw them around about the
Yeah.
same, but Bitcoin is the granddaddy of cryptocurrencies. Therefore, it's the most popular and the most valuable. And there are thousands of others. Some of them are valuable, some of them not so much.
Yeah, I'm not sure I
So
want to take Shiba coin. But hey, if you want to do that, you can go ahead.
you have options. Just know what you're getting yourself into. That's all we're saying.
Actually, that might not. That just gave me an idea.
Hmm.
Because that these meme coins have a very loyal following, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So if you actually accepted that as a currency, I bet you could drive a fair amount of, like, just post on their Reddit and be like, "Hey, look, I'm accepting your
You
dumb little."
should. Hey, don't call Shield done. Shield has been good to me. I'm gonna just come out and say it. I took a great vacation on Shield. Okay, so
Okay, hey, good. I'm glad. People making money. That's great.
right.
I just have a hard time from being a technical guy, kind of looking
Right.
at Cheap and being like,
I get it. Yeah, I know your
yeah.
perspective's different. Look, you're looking at this way different than we are,
No,
Jake.
I know, I am.
But that's a great point. I mean, because is it AMC theaters or Regal theaters is accepting
AMC,
shit?
yeah.
Yeah. So, like you said, if you have a community of people that's supporting a coin and you want to say, I want to tap into that community, just start accepting that crypto.
Oh, and
You
like
know?
small, other cool thing with small businesses is that this is a way you can get cryptocurrency without having to go through an exchange. So if you want to stack that cryptocurrency, and because I have yet. I mean, of course, we're different because this is literally what we do.
Hmm.
But most businesses aren't run entirely off cryptocurrency. Most of the time, if you integrate a system, maybe 10, 15, 20% of sales will be in cryptocurrency. So, if you have margins that can afford it, you can just be like, cool, that's the money I'm going to use. And I'm just going to hold this in a, cold storage. And I'm just going to, stack those sats and not have to go through KYC and not have to go through an exchange and
Right.
have to
It's
pay the
true.
fees.
It's true.
So, yeah, no, it's.
Hmm. I talk about that a little bit in my book, Start Your Crypto Journey, 3 Simple Steps, plug. And I was gonna say too, something that you just said, see this memory of mine? You were saying about the exchange, 20%, and I still can't remember. Hopefully it'll come to me before we finish. But I did want to say something else. But yeah, so that's good. That's good to know. So if you are interested, if you're an entrepreneur, because this episode, we're strictly talking about accepting cryptocurrency as a business owner.
Mhm.
Jay, how can they reach out to you? What's
Yeah.
the best way?
Best way, you can always go on the website, CryptoConcierge.consulting. Funny story about that. When I first registered the business and I got the domain, I got like CryptoConcierge.com, and I'm like, whoa, I'm the luckiest man alive. And I later found out that I had registered Crypto Concierge. So no, don't go to
Oh,
CryptoConcierge.consulting.
okay.
No, so that's a great place to hear a little bit more about what we do. I'm actually going to be launching a full course series on like how the basics of Bitcoin, just to make sure everyone understands like the technical fundamentals of how this thing works.
Mhm.
And we also dive into, hey, how can you actually run your business off cryptocurrency?
That's
And
great.
so if you're like that's your thing, we'll be launching that soonish. I'm working with an audiovisual guy, and we went to like all these different locations around the Oregon coast, and we shot video and about like stories around that area, and then using that to incorporate that into the actual lesson,
That's
because
cool.
I hate boring like talking head courses. I've listened to way too many of them in my time, and so I want something exciting, something you grab somebody like
Right.
shipwreck or like your World War II, fort is like that's pretty cool.
Right.
So it's going to be a great course. That's like an excellent place, and if you just want to have a conversation and be like, hey, I want to integrate crypto, and even like our goal is global adoption, and even if
Right.
we're not the right solution, we want to help you find the right solution, whatever that is. Because the
Exactly.
more people are accepting crypto, the better, the more this ecosystem grows. The more this ecosystem grows, the less reliant we'll need to be on banks, on exchanges, and the more we can be self-sovereign. And yeah, so those are the best places. I'm on LinkedIn. Shoot me a message there, on Discord, and yeah, I would love to have a conversation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jay, as always, giving us interesting information in your own interesting way. We
Good. I don't want to
appreciate
be boring.
right? We appreciate your time and insight. I'm going to pull out all of your information on the YouTube video as well as on the
Awesome.
podcast link so they can reach out to you, because this is a really big deal. Because like Jay said, we need as many people as possible to embrace cryptocurrency so that we can have this liberation, this financial liberation that we all so desperately need. All right, Jay, I'm going to let you get on with your afternoon. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's always awesome talking with you and connecting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to this episode when it comes out.
Yes, I'll be sure you get that. And I saw some of your pictures on LinkedIn where you were recording. They do look very, very cool. So
yeah, no, it'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice. All right, then I will be talking to you soon.
All right, take care.
This episode is brought to you by the Crypto Vibes free crypto budget workshops. Are you unsure about how much you should invest in crypto? Let's figure it out. Simply order your Crypto Vibes budget journal on Amazon and you can attend the Crypto Budget Workshop for free. They are held twice each month. Go to CryptoVibes.com under the Events tab to check for the next available date. The Crypto Vibes Budget Journal is only one of the 4 tools in the Crypto Confidence collection. Order them on Amazon or go to CryptoVibes.com to get the Amazon links. Thank you again for tuning in to the Crypto Confident Podcast for Grown Women. We help keep cryptocurrency simple. We want you to be crypto confident. We'll see you next time.